Hello, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a Q&A about Whistler and my experience doing a working holiday club in Canada. Just made myself a nice latte. It's a little pick-me-up for the afternoon, but yeah, I will be answering lots of questions, so let's get into it. Alrighty, before I start with the questions, I feel like I should give you a bit of a background about me and what I've been doing this past year. So basically, my boyfriend and I were both 23 years old. We only recently got back from a year away in Whistler, Canada. It was literally the best year ever. We were both missing it so much. That's why I kind of wanted to do this Q&A while it's still like fresh in my brain. But basically, we both worked in hospitality while we're over there. We went over with an agency, which I'll talk more in these questions. It was my first ski season and it was my boyfriend's second. What else? I'm just trying to give you like a quick overbrief. We lived in staff accommodation while we're over there, so I'll also talk about that. Okay, I have hopefully put these questions in like order of what would make sense and like most significant. I feel like the first one I really want to talk about is our agency, and the question was, what agency did you go over with? So there's heaps of agencies. I don't even know if you'd call them an agent, basically. But my boyfriend and I, we both went over with the Working Holiday Club, and I know quite a few of our friends did as well. But I cannot tell you enough about the Working Holiday Club. Like, they were amazing. So you basically pay, I think it was like around $1,500. It might be different now, but this was 2 years ago when we applied. So yeah, we paid $1,500. They give you step-to-step like a visa application process. It talks you through that whole thing because, oh my god, visas can be so confusing, and I feel like if I did not have them, my progress would be a lot slower than it was. So the Working Holiday Club also like guarantees and secures you housing and a job before you leave home. So that was like a massive peace of mind, because I know quite a few people that actually moved over there and then started looking for a job and housing, which it can be very hard, especially in winter. A lot of those things are in demand. So yeah, be careful with that. But I mean, there are lots of jobs going around, and as soon as you start meeting people, you can get jobs through other people and stuff. But for me and a lot of people I know, the Working Holiday Club was literally the best. They also they recommend you like a hostel when you stay in Vancouver. The hostel, it was okay. It wasn't the best. It was probably the worst hostel I've ever stayed in. But they also give you SIM cards, step-by-step everything to do, like regarding your SIM cards, bank accounts, bank cards, all that. They also have a meet and greet, which when you get into Vancouver, at the bottom of your hostel, there's like a pub. I don't know I forgot what they call it over there. Yeah, there's basically like a restaurant pub, and one working holiday guide, I would say, went there. And then everyone that came to Vancouver that week, you'd also meet. On the first meet and greet night, we met Darcy and Eliza, which soon became very close friends in Whistler. Yeah, it was actually just the best to have met them that night. And then I remember getting into Whistler, and Kyle and I were walking down the village, and like, we obviously knew no one, knew nothing about Whistler, and we saw Darcy and Eliza, and we're like, oh my god, people we know. Like, we only met them once, but like, it's that, I feel like you would definitely meet someone at these meet and greets if you go. So if you go through the Working Holiday Club, definitely go to one of these meet and greets, because they led us to our best friends for the year. I actually miss them so much. But yeah, anyway, enough about the Working Holiday Club. Let's move on to the next question. All right, another big question Also, I'm sorry, Dad started mowing the lawn, even though I said I'm filming a video, but it's so fine. Anyway, another big question was Whistler or Banff. So Carl and I were also having this big debate before we left. Do we go to Whistler or do we go to Banff? And we eventually chose Whistler. I'm actually not sure what drew us there. I just think a lot of people have been to Whistler and could not talk more highly of it. Like a lot of my friends, mums, sons, daughters, like heaps of people that we knew basically went to Whistler, and yeah, they just loved their time there. And I think that's why we ended up going to Whistler. It sounded more of a party town, which is kind of like what we wanted. We wanted, you know, we're still young, living our best lives. That is what drew us to Whistler originally. But I can say we did go to Banff at the end of our year trip, and it was stunning, like stunning, stunning, stunning. And I might be coming from a biased opinion, but I would say I would probably prefer to be in Whistler than Banff. Okay, that might be like, right, Banff is stunning. It is so stunning, but the vibe just isn't the same. Like, obviously you still have your nightlife, but a lot of the town and everything is like off mountain, whereas Whistler, like, you have the mountain right there next to the village, whereas Banff village is like a bit like further away from the mountain. So if you did not live on mountain, you'd have to basically get transport, like a bus to Sunshine Village every morning. I can't talk too much on Banff because I'm actually not 100% sure, but we've had like a couple friends and stuff that live there too. So I know like a tiny bit, but yeah, personally, and it's probably a biased opinion, I would go to Whistler. So the next question is regarding staff accommodation. I had a couple questions regarding staff accommodation, but I'm just going to summarize the question. What is staff accommodation like? So we stayed at the we stayed at Glacier Staff Housing, which is an on-mountain accommodation, and there's basically like eight apartment buildings there. There might be more, I can't actually remember the amount, but yeah, the rooms themselves are it's quite run down. Like, we didn't even have cupboards in our kitchen. Yeah, like, it's quite run down, but also it is what you make it. Like, we're paying $100 a week. Where else can you pay $100 a week in rent? Like, that was really ideal. And we would have not been able to move to Canada if we were paying any more. Like, I came back with very minimal money. If I was paying more rent, I don't think I actually would have coped. But yeah, obviously I'd also know quite a few people in like private housing as well, which they are happier in terms of their housing situation, but they're also paying the price for it. So yeah, there are some really nice places, but you will be paying a lot of money. Quite a few people are paying like $1,000 plus a month for rent. So yeah, $400 a month is ideal, especially in Whistler, because everything's so expensive. If you're confused at all, you can go check out my room tour video that's also on this channel. But yeah, that gives you like a better insight into what it was like. There was also a lot of questions about pay, and I also had a lot of questions about pay when I was going over there. I thought I'd be getting like $10, $14 an hour, which, mind you, I was prepared for. Like, I was accepting that. Anyway, my boyfriend and I both got paid $20 an hour. I'm pretty sure that was like the base. And then in winter, we we're both intermediates, like intermediate cooks, and we got paid like $1 extra. So not really worth it, but that's so fine. We're getting paid $20 an hour for a hospitality job. In summer, I was doing both front and back of house. And then in winter, I was mainly back of house. So like a cook. Yeah, I don't know how much cooking I did, but that is so fine. It's mainly like heating up food and like serving food. Like we'd be making burritos, noodle bowls, burgers, all that fun stuff. So yeah, we're getting paid $20 an hour, but we also get tips on top of that and travel time included. The place I worked at Rendezvous, which is on top of Whistler Blackcomb Mountain. So yeah, we got paid travel time because it's a 20-minute gondola up and a 20-minute gondola down every day. So we did get paid for that because you meet your whole team at the bottom of the mountain and you all go up on the gondola together. We also get paid, tips, which tips weren't amazing just because our team was so big. Like they were divided by everyone. Whereas if you're at a smaller restaurant or you're a server, your tips would be a lot higher. But that's okay. We were there for the experience, and Rendezvous was one of the best places to work. We met all of our best friends there. Like, literally, the people we hung out with were the people that we worked with. We spent 24/7 together. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I would recommend if you can get in there. Well, not many of us will be working there now, but just the workplace in general is very fun. Okay, I have one more question for today, just because I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to like really get the most helpful points out there, basically. But one more question was, what would have you done differently knowing what you know now? And at the start, like you really know nothing when you're moving to another country. We were moving over there for winter. Like everyone raves on about winter, how fun it is. You know, you obviously learn how to ski or board. Like there's just a massive focus around winter, which winter is fun, but we went over in summer. And I really, really wish I soaked up more of the summer. Summer is probably, I would even say, better than winter over there. Just because, like, obviously the vibes are higher at stages because the sun is out. Trust me, after 6 months of literally no sun, you are so over it. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's overworked, especially that Christmas and New Year's period. It's so busy there. Anyway, sorry, focusing on the positives. Summer is stunning. If you're planning on going over in winter, 1000% plan to stay for the summer. And that just because there's lakes, stunning campgrounds. My boyfriend and I, I think I only done one, but my boyfriend done more than me. A couple camping nights away, you know what I mean. And we really wish we'd done more of those. With that being said, after the year, we're very homesick. But knowing what I know now back home, I really, really wish we stayed for that next summer, just to soak in more camping, more sun, more lakes. Lake days are unmatched. Like, yeah, summer is just stunning. That is like my one big, I feel like, point to everyone, because summer is very underrated, I feel like, over there. But you also get to travel heaps. So I would have probably saved more money prior to going. to be completely transparent, I saved around 14 grand, something like that, and I spent all of it. Yeah, because I don't even know why, but we basically done a month in Mexico. I think I pulled out like a decent amount of money for that. We went to Vegas, didn't pull any money out of my Australian account for that though. But when you're moving to places, like when you're moving, especially overseas, you are fully outside of your comfort zone. Like, my boyfriend and I, we're very like creatures of comfort. I don't even know if that's the right terminology, but I love to be comfortable, as we all know. Yeah, we literally went above and beyond to make ourselves comfortable, basically. Like, all new bedding, like they do supply bedding, but not that much. And I didn't want to think about how many people have laid in that bedding. But yeah, we did go kind of above and beyond with our purchases, but that was so we could be comfortable, and that is what made us enjoy our time there that bit more. So yeah, it's completely up to you. I know people who literally come over with a suitcase, don't buy a thing, and they live there and they're happy. Like, that's for them. But if you love to be comfortable in your own environment, I definitely recommend having that extra stash of money put away prior to coming, so then that you can buy new furniture, bedding, I don't know, clothes. If you don't have any ski clothes or anything, definitely need money for that. I think I paid around maybe 1,000, 1,500 for all my winter gear. That's including my board, bindings. I got new pants, a couple jackets, like all that kind of stuff. But yes, it can get quite expensive, and especially when you're only earning $20 an hour. But yeah, I hope that helped, and I hope that answered that question correctly. My main point was to definitely stay for a summer. But yeah, I hope you got something out of this, and if you have any more questions at all, leave them below and I can potentially answer them in another video. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in my next video.